Bring it to the table. What exactly is Seth Rollins looking to burn down? The greasy cat weasel has already seen off the WWE Archives place. What next is on the agenda? Surely if he was finished, his catchphrase would be burnt it down, as in past tense. I burned it down bare time ago, pal. Since it isn't, since it's present, he's quite frankly a threat to our safety and needs to be stopped. I'm King Ross, you're my loyal subjects, and it's that bastard time of the week once again where I take a look at all the WTF moments from Dabble Babble Babble. And we kick things off with the Hey Miz white belt off for women's sign I. Invest like that are for people with muscles, not for f***ers with pipe cleaner T-Rex arms. Yeah, This is wrong on so many levels. First of all, white belts can be worn by men on a myriad of occasions. For example, discotheques. I should know this because every time I go in f***ing Pop World with me white belt on, I am the belle of the ball. Second of all, the Intercontinental Championship today is a white belt. I know it's not gender exclusive, but it's mainly contested for by men. It's a shame that The Miz took this sign to heart, however, because his Intercontinental Championship was not seen on last night's episode of Raw. To that person, I say this. You're premature, you f***. As we all know, Lesnar Goldberg at Survivor Series last year ended after 1 minute and 26 seconds, not 1 minute and 24. How do we know this? Because Wikipedia says so. And as we all know, Wikipedia is always the best source of information because anybody can edit it. Therefore, you're always getting the best people telling you what's right. Bill and Brock, the flower pot jocks, both lasted longer than that prick there is saying. Longer, in fact, than JBL when he's looking at sweaty women, if you know what I'm saying here. Brother. Paul Heyman claiming that he's into role play, getting a sort of reaction from the crowd. Why is this getting people so shocked? He literally plays a role for a bastard living. The WTF moment here is the fact that Paul asked The Miz if he and his wife Maurice do the role playing in their spare time, turning things all sexual, which means that Paul Heyman finds his work all pure sexy in that. Bah! Paul Heyman gets turned on by the graps. Paul Heyman gets turned on by the graps. Paul Heyman gets turned on by the graps. Oh, hey! Booker claiming that no amount of money in the world can replace a good friend. Thank that stirring prick Norris was on like Donkey Kong because he did my job for me. Calling Booker out for being the Harlem Heatocrit that he was being on Raw yesterday. Harlem Heatocrit. Every single bastard week on Raw, Booker T always claims it's all about the money and the championships, yet here he's claiming that money can't replace friends. All those f***ing years of spinneroonies have got him dizzy blood. Fam. Moose! Booker T, when she sees that, Queen Charmel, she's coming for you, you dirty dog. It's the bastard hat-trick already. Booker T this time claiming that Sheamus plonked Seth Rollins down on the hardest part of the apron, even though, as we all know, the apron is the same all the way bastard round. It goes steel, bar, then wood, then padding, then canvas. It's the same all the way around. What Booker actually meant to say, of course, was the hardest part of the ring. Cliché city, motherfucker. Booker T talking about the hardest part of the ring and the hardest part of his job, which is talking, which is worrying because the only bastard thing he's paid to do is f***ing talk, and he's shit. Made more sense on the paper. Michael Cole this time claiming that Sheamus is loving it. I'm loving it. Test me lucky charms. F***ing Sheamus and Cesaro this time looking back up the ramp, being a couple of paranoid f***s waiting for Dean Ambrose, even though they have to be very well aware that Ambrose literally can't appear. He can't appear unless his music hits first for that bear Poppington. Even if they weren't looking away, the fact the music hits, the crowd goes wild, they get fair warning, yet they're still looking up there like a pair of numpties. Oh, what am I doing? I'm forgetting what happens when the music hits during a run-in. The people in the ring laying the beat down, they get f***ing hypnotised, don't they? They can't f***ing move. The person doing the running makes it all the way down the ramp into the ring and lands some offense before they can f***ing move. That means it's not really a WTF moment at all. This time we have Michael Cole claiming that Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns have competed in ambulance matches. Plural, no, singular. Yeah. Just like last week, we had Dean Ambrose after Seth Rollins had been attacked by the bar, saying that he'd been painted an arsehole by not coming out to help his pal, former pal. The commentators couldn't make their mind up, could they? Have you Dean, pal, you've been made to look like a babyface with integrity. You said you would fight your battles while that greasy cat weasel had to fight his own as well, and you stuck to that. Fair play to you. Fair play to you for not turning into a silly babyface who becomes a bastard sheep. I can't see a way out for Seth Rollins in this feud because of this. Dean Ambrose is all like, I'm not going to get burnt by you, pal. Seth's like, nah, man, I've changed. Dean's like, what's that saying on your shirt, pal? Seth's like, nah, man, I've changed, man. Dean's like, oh, what's that at the start of your theme when it shouts, burn it, Dean? And then Seth's still like, nah, man, I've changed. Trust is, I don't think so. Booker T saying that Jean-Pierre Goulet has got to be from Canada. He's got to be French-Canadian when WWE are transmitting Raw from Canada, from Toronto. Me, is he a medical marvel or what? How can we all be as clever as him? But of course, Michael Cole somehow made himself out to be a bigger idiot in this situation than Booker T by asking Booker just how he came up with this hypothesis. I tell you what, if these two were a pair of f***ing horses, Booker T would now be a sweeping brush and Michael Cole would be the glue holding Bayley's shoulder together, which of course is glue because Bayley's shoulder is currently separated. Oh, it's horrible. I'm a dick. This tech man likes Caucasian palms. This tech man likes Caucasian palms. This technical man likes looking at pictures of Caucasian palms. Next, we move on to Alexa Bliss, who claimed that locker room talk stays in the locker room, and that got me to thinking of a time I was on the internet Googling. Not like that. Lanny Poffo tells a story of how he was with a young lady, and that young lady was going, oh, you've got a big willy, Lanny. So Lanny sucked himself off. Word spread around the locker room about this. So the very next day, Blackjack Mulligan asked Lanny Poffo in the showers to demonstrate what he did with that lady. So Lanny Poffo got on the floor and sucked himself off in front of Blackjack Mulligan. Yes, that is a true story, and yes, that is not going to leave your mind like it hasn't left my mind. My mind is burning down. What the f*** is Braun Strowman looking at there? The Enzo is not a jobber sign, but if he isn't a jobber, what the f*** is he? I've got you by the balls there. 6 WhatCulture signs at this week's WWE Raw, including one that claims I am woke. Yes, I am. I am stood here woke. I'm not asleep like Big Cass was, ironically, in the same shot that sign was seen. Ha ha ha. I am stood here awake. And there was also a sign claiming I'm the loyal subject of some mark, when that mark is clearly a loyal subject of me, with my name on his sign. Let's move on then. Things always look so much worse in slow motion, don't they? And WWE Raw decided to air a slow motion replay of Big Cass getting sparked the f*** out by the Big Show. Only thing is though, the Big Show's fist isn't even in the same bastard postcode as Big Cass's chin, and that big sweaty softy is gurning like he's treble dropped in Pop World last Friday with me. Your boy Finn Balor claims that to him at least Bray Wyatt strikes him as a person who doesn't care about wins and losses. He only cares about scaring people. Well, f***ing hell, hasn't that worked out well with Bray Wyatt's record? And to think when I first heard Finn say this, I thought he said that Bray didn't care about the wins and the losses. All he cared about was scoring. Jojo. Allegedly. Cesaro being late for the start of his entrance is the single biggest WTF moment of the century because WWE loves stereotypes and Swiss people love watches. Of course, however, the Swiss also like chocolate, which is what Cesaro must have been eating, causing to slow him down, which made him miss the start of his entrance. And he forgot his belt, which made me wonder how he was keeping his kilt up. I meant his Raw belt. Michael Cole has been married to John Bradshaw Layfield for 25 years. WTF. For the love of all that's mighty, can somebody just sit that tool down before Raw goes on the air and explain to that useless what is going on? As we all know, the story of Sheamus and Cesaro is two people who couldn't stand each other getting put together, then realizing they were good together, and then becoming the most well-oiled machine in the WWE Raw Tag Team division. This is a concept, however, that Booker T can't get his silly, stringy hair around. Booker's sitting there claiming that Cesaro wishes he was in Dean Ambrose's position back in the day, being a singles champion, even though for one, he's a champion now, and two, he loves being in the tag team with Sheamus. He doesn't want to be away from the big ginger Irish. And third, of course, Booker is just frankly ignoring a whole year's worth of storylines. What on earth is he doing? They say that ignorance is bliss. I'm here to say, in Booker T's case, that ignorance just makes you like a tit in front of the entire bastard world. Michael Cole as Dean Ambrose is climbing up the turnbuckles, ready to jump onto the floor on top of Sheamus and Cesaro. He says, "This is just crazy." Corey Graves replies, "Naturally, you do realise who you're talking about, pal, of course. This is the lunatic fringe." I'm getting sick of this though. Oh. Booker T then chimes in saying it's the king of pain. Forget the lunatic fringe, it's the king of bastard pain. Who the is the king of pain? I'll tell you who. Well, the Police released a track by that title, The King of Pain, in 1983, which is ironic because the Po-Po need to come and get Booker because he's clearly off his tits doing the commentary last night on WWE Raw. Drugs all over his system. All over, I tell you. Allegedly. The marks in Toronto thinking they're all badasses by booing the good guys and cheering the bad guys. But then Dean Ambrose simply does that towards Seth Rollins and they turn into Michael Cole at a Superman punch convention. The gushing, they're weak at the knees, they're screaming like little bastard girls. That badassness that they were shown earlier tonight, completely gone. Once a mark, always a mark. I see a true color shining through. I love how 205 Live's Daivari is announced by being from Minneapolis, Minnesota, by way of Iran. He needs to stop taking Ryanair and those long, complicated routes, if you get me drift.
I tell you what, Titus, you look lit tonight.
The Kurt Angle is my father sign just goes to show that when Kurt Angle does actually spray his milk, he's got all the angles covered. And the Jones, and the Smiths, and the Simpkins. Do you like our booking, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, Captain!
Well, they do have to sell those toys somehow, don't they? But of course, Enzo Amore, if you believe what you read on the internet, needs a shark cage all the bastard time because every bastard he works with hates him. Ha ha ha. Steel stairs right to the tits. Never seen that before. Fantastic. Office chair to the mush. Never seen that before. Fantastic.
Oh my god, I should get these boys on SmackDown.
And that's it for your WTF Moments from WWE Raw. That is the longest episode I've done in a while. I'm King Ross. You're my loyal subjects. See you tomorrow for some SmackDown.